Dressed informally, he went out one day for a walk with Jotaro. "It's amazing," said Musashi, his eyes roving over the crops in the fields and the farmers going out for their work. "Amazing," he repeated several times. Finally, Jotaro asked, "What's amazing?" For him, the most amazing thing was the way Musashi was talking to himself. "Since leaving Mimasaka, I've been in Setsu, Kawachi, Izumi provinces, Kyoto, and Nara, and I've never seen a place like this." Well, so what? What's so different about it? For one thing, there are a lot of trees in the mountains here. Jotaro laughed. "Trees? There are trees everywhere." "Well, aren't there?" "Yes, but here it's different. All the trees in Yagyu are old. That means they haven't been in any wars here. No enemy troops burning or cutting down the forests. It also means there haven't been many famines, at least for a long, long time." "That's all?" "No, the fields are green too, and the new barley has been well trampled to strengthen the roots and make it grow well. Listen, can't you hear the sound of spinning wheels? It seems to be coming from every house. And haven't you noticed that when travelers in fine clothes pass by, the farmers don't look at them envious? Anything else? As you can see, there are many young girls working the fields. This means that the district is well off and that life is normal here. The children are growing up healthy, the old people are treated with due respect, and the young men and women aren't running off to live uncertain lives in other places. It's safe. It's a safe bet that the lord of the district is wealthy, and that the swords and the guns in his armory are kept polished and in the best condition." "I don't see anything so interesting in all that," complained Jotaro. I don't imagine you would. Anyway, you didn't come here to admire the scenery. Aren't you going to fight the samurai of the House of the Yagyu? Fighting isn't all there is to the art of war. The men who think that way are satisfied to have food to eat and a place to sleep. They are mere vagabonds. A serious student is much more concerned with training his mind and disciplining his spirit than with developing martial skills. He has to learn about all sorts of things: geography, irrigation, the people's feelings, their manners and their customs, their relationship with the lord of their territory. He wants to know what goes on inside the castle, not just what goes on outside it. He wants essentially to go everywhere he can and learn everything he can. Yeah, so as you can see, these the warriors within that castle, the Yagyu castle, are highly respected. The entire area is different from the Kyoto area, from where the Yoshiokas come from. And their attitude is completely different when it comes to relationships to the land and within hierarchies in between men and women as well. And that's where this Yoshino, the lady that's described in the first episode, that's the difference there. She's at the top. That description of Yoshino is of the flower, right? So she's not wearing any makeup. She's not wearing any gaudy outfits as they would in the big city where these other samurai dwell, the Yoshioka, right? So they're up in Kyoto, major city, and at this time of the Japanese era, the sentiment is that war is coming, right? It's coming sometime soon. That sentiment gives the Yoshiokas a sense that they can just do whatever they want. While over here at the Yagyu Valley, it's the opposite. Right, as Musashi enters the city, this little city, to meet with Sheki Shusai to ask him for a bout, he immediately notices the beauty of the countryside, the landscape, the irrigation, the trees. Everything's nice, everything's beautiful. There's even women farming alongside the men, which doesn't happen in Kyoto because the women are treated differently. He notices that and he's like, people are happy. They're happy. Not afraid of the government. They respect the police / samurai. And the Yagyu Valley displays the essence of a flower as compared to the major city known as Kyoto. and how it's degenerating. There's criminals, there's violence, everybody's waiting for a war, so they're on edge, they're fighting each other, it's a mess. Kyoto's a mess, while the Yagyu Valley over here it's beautiful. It's like country, right? It's there's morals, there's discipline. The samurai are top notch. They're the ultimate warriors, especially here at this point in Musashi's life. He's got a lot of respect for these guys. As soon as he notices this Peony, he knows he's in for it, right? So let me read a little bit here. Hold on. But few were certain the peace would last. More than 100 years of civil strife had so colored people's view of the life that they could only regard the present tranquility as fragile and ephemeral. The capital was thriving, but the tension of not knowing how long this would last whetted the people's appetite for merrymaking. Idle speculation on the country's political future formed the bulk of gossip in the Kyoto air. War is bound to break out sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. These street lanterns could be snuffed out tomorrow. Why worry about it? What happens, happens. Let's enjoy ourselves while we can. The bustling nightlife, booming pleasure quarters were tangible evidence that much of the populace were doing just that. Among those so inclined was a group of samurai, now turning the corner into Shiju Avenue. Besides them ran a long wall of white plaster, leading to an impressive gate with an imposing roof. A wooden plaque, blackened with age, announced in barely legible writing, Yoshioka Kempo of Kyoto, military instructor to the Ashigawa shoguns. The 8 young samurai gave the impression of having practiced sword fighting all day without respite. Some bore wooden swords in addition to the 2 customary steel ones, and others were carrying lances, the kind of men who'd be the first to see blood shed the moment a clash of arms erupt. Their faces were as hard as stone and their eyes threatening, as if always on the brink of exploding in a rage. "Young master, where are we headed tonight?" they clamored, surrounding their teacher. "Anywhere but where we were last night," he replied gravely. "Why? Those women were falling all over you. They barely looked at the rest of us." "Maybe he's right," another man put it. "Why don't we try someplace new, where no one knows the young master, or any of the rest of us?" Shouting and carrying on among themselves, they seemed totally consumed by the question of where to go drinking and whoring. That sums up the Yoshiokas. And in contrast, what is happening on the countryside, where there is no city and things are not falling apart, and there is respect, and the women are respected, and they're admired. Their beauty is ultimate. The true depiction of what the book is trying to illustrate is the beauty of the flower, the pure beauty of the flower, of the peony, is reflected in the women. They're recognized for their pure beauty, for their pureness of heart, right? For what they do and how the warriors are created through them. It highlights their virtues. They're the pure elegance of a peony in the women.